It's Oklahoma Archery. Everything archery based out of Oklahoma for Oklahomans. Let's get it started. Hello, everybody. I'm David Bosca, and this is the Oklahoma Archery Podcast.
I'm Neil Cooley, and today we've got Mr. Carl Shipley with us. How you doing, Carl?
I'm doing good, Neil. How you guys doing?
Really good.
We're hoping to get this rain out of the way the next couple days and be dry for this weekend's double qualifier at Bowtown.
That's what we're hoping for.
Are you ready for it?
I am ready. I'm ready. I don't know that I'm ready to get it started or ready to get it over with.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the first ever 2 qualifiers at one location. So you've got 40 lanes set, 40 targets on it. We're going to have a qualifier on the east side of the property and a qualifier on the west side of the property.
That's correct. We've got a lot of targets out in the woods. By the time you get the team shoot targets out there in the bags, we've got a lot of equipment out there.
So can someone come up, do your shotgun Saturday morning, do the east side, and then that afternoon do the west side and not come back?
That's correct. That's what we really hope that they do, is they shoot them both on the same day, but it's not mandatory. You can certainly come Saturday and Sunday. Okay.
Easter eggs are going to be out there in between everything?
Yep.
Easter eggs will be at each target. That's correct.
Got raffle tickets and candy in them already. Got to go put them out Saturday morning after the rain stops. It's supposed to stop about 9 a.m. Last I looked at the forecast. So you'll have an hour to dry off, get registered, get warmed up, and we'll start at 10. If you'll bring those back to us, we'll have them. Hopefully, we'll have them out the next morning for sure. If we have enough time and enough help, we'll have them back for the afternoon range. Just depends on how busy it gets. We're expecting a big turnout, so it's going to be a never before seen thing at the Oklahoma ASA. Everybody's kind of worried about what range do I go to? How do I know where I'm at? It's going to be really easy. You just show up, and I'll tell you which line to stand in.
Well, I seen a big post, and to clear the air a little bit, Carl, why don't you tell everyone how to drive to your location?
Well, it's right off of MacArthur Avenue, just north of Highway 39 in Dibble, Oklahoma. If you'll just put in the Dibble Cemetery, it's going to get you within a half mile of there. So from the Dibble Cemetery, you'll just go 1/2 mile north on MacArthur. And just before you get to the Creek Bridge, there'll be signage up. There'll be a sign right there that tells you to turn in at the cattle guard. If you get on MacArthur and go north from 39, you're not going to be able to miss it.
All right. That's easy enough.
And a lot of you have already been there, because we've been doing Wednesday night $15 fun rounds out there all summer long, and it's been turnout's getting kind of big out there.
Yeah, we're certainly happy to have them. It helps pay for the course, and that's what we're trying to do, is just pay for the course so we can keep good targets for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing on course for me. Most of my arrows don't land in the core, so
mine either.
I was going to say we need to come financially support Carl so he can buy new midsections on these targets down in the leg and the neck.
Yeah, that's what I need.
It does happen. So you had a fall qualifier last year. We had probably 30, 40 people out there. I know the fall turnout wasn't nearly as big as our regular qualifiers, but a few people got to see it, and they all seemed like they liked the range real well. You put a lot of effort into placing these targets. Kind of walk everybody through a little bit on what you're thinking to throw the judgers off. Even the known guys are going to have trouble on a couple of these lanes. So what kind of terrain are you working with?
Well, we've got some elevation changes and some just vegetation and obstacles that we use. I think for me, I shoot unknown, so I try to set it up to kind of suit me and what I would like to see and what I think will help me shoot and guess yardage. And so, 40 yards is 40 yards, but it's just the obstacles that you put in front of the target. I call it noise. I just put noise up there that just kind of distract them. and this make them really have to focus to judge their yardage. The known guys, man, they just push that thing and get their yardage. But I hope they still enjoy shooting it just because of the terrain.
It's pretty easy walking to navigate, but once you get down the lanes, you will have some clearance there. You will have some things to get over, under, and to the side of. It's not going to be like a nature hike. It's one paved gravel road with all 40 targets on it. It's good and flat. But once you get off in the trees, we're going to take your feet from you. We're going to take the air from you. There's some tight lanes. There's some open lanes. I think we've got a pretty good variety of any kind of target you want to see. No matter where you're getting ready to go. I mean, I know we got some pro-ams coming up. We got the Am down in Paris. This is going to be a good place to come shoot your bow and get ready for it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking forward to it. I hope everybody enjoys it. And if they have negative feedback, just let me hear it and we'll try to correct it. But for the most part, it's been positive, and I feel like we're going in the right direction. And sure looking forward to having several people look at it and kind of tell me what they think.
It's excited. You look at the stake and you look at the target and you got this horrified look on your face, and Carl's over there grinning ear to ear like, "What, don't you like it?" It's terrible. Oh my gosh. I looked at one yesterday. We were setting stakes and I said 35 yards, give or take. And I clicked it and it was 24. It's like, that's why I shoot the known distance class right there.
I don't want people to lose arrows and break arrows and be frustrated. I want them to go out there and have a good practice and really have to concentrate and think and look at their surroundings and say, this is 20 yards away, this is 30 yards away, and just walk their way back to the target. And I hope if they shoot this range a few times, they walk away thinking, you know what, I can shoot good here, I can shoot good anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot like Tulsa Archery. We had 130 official rounds and 25 fun round shooters this past weekend, and Tulsa historically just does not have monster scores shot at it. It's you're even or you're up just a little bit, and those guys come off that range like, you doing good? No, terrible, but I can't wait to come back. They love a challenge, and everybody's worried for shooter of the year here in Oklahoma because we take your best 6 scores. Everybody's worried there's going to be a soft range somewhere, that someone's going to get a leg up on them. I got to go every weekend just in case they set it soft. But the ones people want to come back to are where you're dialing your sight up and down and shooting uphill, downhill, side hill, in the creek, over the creek. We got some of them that are in the open with the sunshine on them. We got some of them set in a little hole there. We tried to find a patch of sunlight, and if it's overcast, there's going to be a couple dark ones. I can tell you that right now. On the is it the east side? Is it east side of the west side of the tank? There's a few that are going to be pretty shadowy.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they're going to see, at least on Saturday morning. I think there's going to be some dark spots that they need to pay attention to.
I think one thing it is important to note, we have divided which range you will shoot based on your class. And so you're shooting the Bowtown side in the morning if you are any black stake, any white stake, or red stake short bars. Opposite's true for the Triple-C range. In the morning, you are shooting the orange stake, green stake, yellow stake, blue stake, and red stake long bars. It'll be the same Saturday, Sunday. And I think it's important that the lighting conditions will be the same amongst all competitors in your class. So you're not going to shoot a range in the morning and have somebody on Sunday shoot that same range in the afternoon. So the sunshine is going to be in the same place. So for fairness of competition. So I think that's why it's so confusing to people, because we say at 10 a.m. you're this side or this side. At 1:30 you're this side or this side, and it's mandatory. This one's a morning, this one's an afternoon, depending on your class. But it's fair that way, so nobody has an unfair advantage. Like if I shot it and it's in the shade, you're going to shoot it in the shade. If I shoot it in the sun, you're going to shoot it in the sun. So no matter who you're competing against based on Saturday or Sunday, I mean, yeah, one day is going to be a little more cloudy and one day is going to be a little more windy. That's a given any weekend, but we're doing everything we can to keep the conditions the same for fairness of competition. So I think that's where a lot of the confusion comes from. It's the first time we've ever done this. So y'all just hang with us and tell us you had fun afterwards. I know we're going to be cooking dogs out there. So no Heath this weekend. He's got Easter plans, but he should be out there. He'll be back again real soon. But we're going to feed you so you don't have to go anywhere between your morning and afternoon rounds. We will have the team shoot after the morning round. If you want to come grab me, get your score shot, we'll do it after the afternoon round as well. So I hope a bunch of people sign up for that. We're still giving a target away every weekend. I think Dustin Leader won it at Tulsa. He ended up with the grazing doe. So I think we've still got 11 or 12 targets to give away over we're going to do one a weekend. You can practice on those targets. We'll have bags set out. We are going to chronograph you this weekend. So you'll go to the registration table. You'll hand your registration in. We'll get you a card. You can sign up for one round and come back and sign up for the other, or you can pay for both of them there at once, and we'll stick your card off to the side till we get started at 1:30. You're going to go over. We're going to have a tent in case it's raining, and you're going to shoot over a little Garmin chronograph to get your unofficial card. So public service announcement to everybody out there. Don't get on the range without an unofficial card. It'll be right next to the registration table, but go get chronographed. And this is just so you can know where your bow's at before the state championships. You get chronographed at, some pro-ams, AMAM, Texas State does it. A lot of state championships are starting to do this. We're just going to start doing it a little bit early. And so plan on bringing your bow and one of your arrows to the table there, and it'll be right next door. Got to catch them unknown guys running hot bows, running 307 foot per second. You know who you are out there.
Hey, Neil, one more thing I'd like to add to the way we split this up as far as classes. I think not only will it help us get people out on the range, but I think it's gonna split the ranges up more evenly so that we don't have 30 people on one range and 120 on another. I think the way we split it up, I think that it's going to be more of an even amount on each range.
Yeah, we've had this done before. We saw the shot guys do it at their last event at Arrowhead State Park, and they have a short side and a long side. So they did red, black, and white on one side and blue and closer on the other. And we just didn't have as many kids shooting as adults that day. So it ended up being like 40 on one side and 80 on the other. So we're trying to find that perfect 50-50 split. So you can have a lane ahead. It's gonna move fast. When you have 40 lanes to put people on, you're gonna get this first round shot in 2.5, 3 hours instead of 4.5 hours. So it's gonna move a lot quicker. You're gonna be able to get off, get hydrated, get some food, kick your feet up for a second, and then get back out there pretty soon. I don't think it's gonna be a ton of waiting around before the afternoon, but you don't want to just go shoot 40 straight. You want to get some lunch in you. Get your blood sugar all situated up and get some fuel in you.
So is there going to be a set time to where the second round goes off, or is it going to be more of an hour and a half after the last card turned in, the clock starts, and that's when the second round starts? Or are you going to address or publish it at 2:00?
I think we're going to shoot for 1:30. If we run late, it'll be 2. We'll wait for everybody to get off and get done. Hopefully it doesn't back up too much, but you won't be waiting around a ton. And if you are waiting around, not only are we going to do lunch for you, we've got a 100-yard javelina worth a $500 tag on it. You can buy in to shoot an inside-out 10 ring at 100 yards and get you a ticket in for a $500 drawing. I think it's going to be $10 a shot or a dozen shots for a $100 bill, and $500 in the pot guaranteed. Get you a ticket inside there. Proceeds of that going towards funding our buckles, and we're going to have you a target behind it so you don't lose any arrows. So
that's right. It's not quite 100 yards. I looked at it last night. I just couldn't get it set that far back just because of the curve of the ground. You just couldn't see it, so I had to scoot it up some. So it's inside of 100.
Well, it still sounds good. The 100-yard heavy.
Yeah, and it's still $500 whether it's 80 yards or 100 yards. Yeah,
I was gonna say we want them to stick around for it. So plan on doing some novelty shots. I know Carl's had T-shirts made up for everybody. Classes of 3 or more that win on combined scores going to have a big shirt. with the Bowtown logo on it. Says I won my class at Bowtown. Those are going to be fun. We'll have Heather out there set up with all her merchandise. You can get you a hat, shirt, shooter towel, anything you need. She's even got the little sweat towels and everything, the cooling ones. Those are it's getting that time of year where you need to be keeping one with you. Gets up to 80, 90 degrees in the afternoon. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good weekend. I know it's Easter, but we've had a qualifier on Easter weekend the past 3, maybe 4 years, and the turnout's been outstanding. So, you can come shoot one Saturday morning. We still have the afternoon round Sunday. So if you want to go to church in the morning, we'll be there at 1:30 afternoon shotgun start. So we'll hope we see a whole bunch of you out there. It's going to be just like we're doing next weekend at Trosper. They're going to be doing a double as well. So this is a good test run. I guess we're the guinea pigs to see how it goes. And we'll kind of make some changes if we need to for next weekend, but you can expect to see more of these at the Oklahoma ASA. I mean, you got a lot of people that are wanting to shoot, and we've had a couple qualifiers now where it's been 4 or 5 on every stake. We've had 100 in a day a couple of times just about, and the range fills up. It moves a little slower. We're just going to set twice as many targets. And for those of you that want to shoot, 2 scores, you're going to get 2 shooter of the year scores. You're going to get 2 payouts. And then just like all the other doubles this year, we're going to combine your scores, and all the class winners are going to go in a hat. And for every 30 archers, we're going to draw $100. So if you win your class based on attendance. So if you got 60 people that shoot both ranges, we're going to draw $200 winners. If you got 90 people that hit both ranges, we're going to draw $300 winners. 120 and 150 is going to be hard to, I hope we get there, but we're going to reward you for showing up and shooting. It ain't no easy task.
Well,
go ahead.
No, Carl, all I was going to say was Neil said for the Sunday, the 1:30 for those that want to go to church on Sunday. How about for the ones that need to go to church on Sunday? They may be there a little longer.
Yeah. It's a family day. A lot of people get together with your families. My family will all be there, and everybody I shoot archery with is my family. So I plan on seeing you there. We'll probably do us a prayer. You can dodge church, but you're still going to get the word just real quick before we get started there. So I don't know that we'll do the hymnals and the passing of the hat, but we'll definitely have us an invocation there, and make it feel like Easter Sunday for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten 18 minutes into this, and we have yet to ask Carl. I know it's his range, but Carl, tell everyone what you shoot and your equipment.
Well, I shoot a Darton Tritech 35, Conquest bars, and Black Eagle arrows, Summit Bowstrings, Hamsky rest, Hamsky weight. I think that's about it.
All right.
Stand resistance release.
I do. I kind of skip between a stand and a knock-on silverback, but yeah, it's kind of like the weights on my bow. I'm moving them around so much that if Dave asked me how much weight I was running, I'd say, well, what day is it? Is it windy? Is it not windy? I move it around a lot. But that's the beauty of those Hamsky weights,
You like those quick changes pretty well?
Yeah, I do. They've been really good for me as far as, I get out there and the wind's blowing. I need to put a little more weight on. It's just simple.
Yeah.
What about your lens for 3D? What kind of magnification are you running?
I'm running a 6-power right now. It's a Dox with I think it's a A- clarifier. I'd have to look for sure, but not a lot of clarification on it.
Okay. What about your pin?
19 with the bowfinger scope, bowfinger sight.
There you go. Running green or blue?
I'm running a kind of a white right now. I've been running green all year, and Brad Yules talked me into running this white, and I'm liking it. I've run it all week this week and just kind of see what it's like, and so far I like it. But normally I use a green.
I've had green wash out on me. I've had a little better luck with blue, but if you get that new Zebros light, you can run a clear fiber and change to purple, orange, red, blue, green, white. The white shows up on everything. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what I've got. I've got the clear fiber with the Zebros light, and man, it's just super handy to change. You can change between targets if you want to.
Mm-hmm. Get up there to that antelope, change it back to green, and then go back to white.
Yeah, you could if you wanted, and it doesn't matter what color I run on the turkey. It's a 5. That's the way it is.
Turkeys are meant to be shot in the head with a scatter gun. That's just the way God intended it.
I know.
I think we ought to put the 12 ring right underneath its eye. That ought to be.
Well, don't they still put the kill zone on the front?
Yeah, they got it on the front and the back. They do.
Yeah, they used to always have it in 4 locations. Yeah,
it does. Once you blow the core out of it, you can turn it front ways and shoot it from the front or shoot it from the back, but there's no replacing it then. I mean,
that's right.
If you want to stick it in the core that's replaceable, you got to shoot it from the side.
Well, see, you got to remember, last time I shot 3D, there was none of this core stuff. It was you replaced midsections on the animals, and then the turkey was, well, all of it was replaced anyway.
Yeah,
Dave, I sure wish we could get you out there. I think if you ever went and started going again, you'd be bit. You'd want to go to all of them.
Oh, I'm going to get out there, and I was out today. I let some sight leveling get in my head, and now I got my sight all screwed up.
It wasn't your sight. First, it was your rest. To walk them through what you were.
I didn't even bring that up, did I?
No, but we got to talk about something to get to an hour. Come on now. The people need to know.
Well, I bought an R7 rest, a Hamsky R7, and I actually put that on the outdoor bow, and I like it. I really like it. So I bought a second one to put on my indoor white bow. Okay. And I put that on yesterday, and I didn't have the cord connected to it yet. And I'm like, I want to adjust the rest down a little bit. And I was on the bottom of these new ones. There's a 2 lock screws and 2 all thread without a head on it to adjust it in and out. And then another one adjusted in, another one adjusted out with lock screws. Anyway, I couldn't get it to go down any. I couldn't get it to go down. Before I realized it, I had done taken that gnarled screw and I done tapped it all the way into the metal, to the housing of the body of the brand new rest. And I was like, well, I've screwed this up, and I could push the rest down. I could feel it catching in there. And I'm like, all right, well, let's quit this. And so I called Hamsky and I said, all right, well, and they got some new prompting, punch 1 to pay your invoices, 2 for customer service, whatever. And the guy answered, and I said, hey, you didn't have a prompt on there for Dumbos, huh? And I said, well, I made an idiot mistake, and I'm just waiting for that prompt to come up. He said, well, you're probably talking to the one that's going to fix your mistake. So, and he asked me, he says, well, what made you do that? And I says, I'm just an idiot. I said, and I told him I forgot I didn't have the cord even down before I realized it. And he said, well, that happens. So I got to mail the brand new R7 back to him so that they can take it apart, pull that grub screw out, and we'll start over. But then today, Neil and I was just talking before you got on, and I did see where Paige was talking about leveling a sight. Okay, it's not brain surgery, but I overthink it. I've shot indoors for how many years, and I don't need to worry about leveling a sight. It sets in one spot. It's 20 yards. It don't move. Well, I'm doing this a little bit now on this second bow, so I let it get in my head that I got to level it. And so I started doing it, and I want it to feel comfortable in my hand. I don't give a dadgum if it's level proper or not, but it needs to be proper in my hand, or I can't feel comfortable when I'm making my shot. Because then when I go to pull my shot off, I want to do this back to my natural position, and I can't find that comfortable spot. So
What's worse is you've got that liquid PVC on there like Ace Coleman did. So now when you re-level your sight, you're going to have to go to either adding or subtracting from it now.
No. That my hand doesn't move. That's what it's for. That it says I'm not trying to move my hand up and down on the rest. I want it to fit. That's my natural position. And when I pull back, that bow needs to be level. And that's what I'm having an issue with, is finding that position. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Well,
It does sound simple.
I think
you're right. It sounds simple. That's what I said. I let it get in my head.
I think you could solve this problem if you put your sight where you want it to be, like Tim Gillingham was talking about, on your natural grip, your natural cant. And I think you could fix it by moving your center shot in and out instead of making sure if your sight's leveled like this.
The bow. Bow's not level.
Yeah, but if you're off like this for your bubble to be good, all you got to do is match your rest out this way and let your arrows fall this way.
No, I can't have my rest off. It's not the rest off. It's the first axis is what's off.
Yeah.
Is it the first axis or the second axis?
Well, it's got to be the first axis.
Yeah.
Because the second axis is only doing this. Right?
Yeah, that's your scope up and down.
Yeah.
But how you would typically check for that when you're setting up a bow conventionally, you go out and you dial in your 20, and then you're finding center shot with your rest first, right? And you leave your pin at 20, and you shoot a group at 40 or 50, and you see that plumb bob, those arrows are hitting right in the middle of that plumb bob. So you know the arrows are falling like this. Your first axis is sitting off like this to get it to where you want to feel in your hand. So we just assume that your first axis is off. That means as you scroll down your sight, you're going to have left and right issues. So make the center shot match that.
That doesn't make sense to me. Moving the rest has nothing to do with the level.
Yeah, but it'll match. You can make it match the inconsistencies.
The way I understood Paige's video is, I know these guys on the other end of this podcast are going, "You idiots!" But Paige said, "Level, take your sight off your bow. Level. I put a Hamskea level on the bar, on the elevation bar, and I leveled the second axis to where they're both level." Okay. Yep. And I got them, they're dead nutted on. Then you put that on your bow and you level the first axis according to how you grip it, because then it makes no difference how you grip it, as long as you keep your bubble in the middle, up or down. As long as your bubble's in the middle, makes no difference how that's running, because your sight still runs straight up and down on that, because the bar is still straight up and down. You're going to make that even with your hand, and I can't find that spot to make it even in my hand, is where I'm having an issue at. But I understand checking it with your rest, but I can't imagine moving my rest, because that doesn't make sense to me, to move my rest.
I always tell people,
when you go back up to 20, your rest is still out.
Mm-hmm.
Or left or right. Then what makes it not right at the 20 then?
It would be probably on it. I mean, I think a lot of them are on at 20. So when I look at somebody's bow, I don't let them slide the sight down at all. I want them to shoot with it on 20, where they know it's hitting perfect left and right. And to take the sight equation out of it, when I'm checking their center shot, I want them to be able to hit a string at 60 yards, and they're just going to hang a target at the very top of the bail and a plumb bob. And at 60 yards, you ought to be hitting that string. If you're hitting left or hitting right, well, then your arrows are falling either on this diagonal or they're falling on this diagonal, depending on if you're left or right. If your second axis is off, when you slide it down, even if your bubble is correct, if your second axis is like this or like this, when you go slide from 20, you're dead on. And when you slide to 40 yards, you're going to either hit left or right, depending on which way your second axis is off, your first axis is off. Yeah. So if you're breaking good shots and it fits in your hand good, and your bubble is level here, and you know you're not doing this or this, that's just how your hand sits. Your grip is oriented. I would take it out of center shot and let the arrows match the sight. If it hits, it's the you
has everything to do with the tune of the bow, not your sight. If you take your center shot out, your tune is now shot.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know.
Well, then that doesn't do any good. That means at 60 yards, your arrow's going like this. So why would you move your rest at a 60 yard to that? No, that is not making sense. I wouldn't move my rest.
Just a micro adjustment. It's a walk back untuning of it to match your unconventional sight placement.
I think it's just getting the first axis tuned with the second axis, not your rest. Your rest, I've got this thing bear shafting at 35 yards. I mean, we're hitting 3/4 to a ½ inch from each other at 35 yards with a bear shaft. Now, if I move that rest, I'm over 3 inches. Mm-hmm. Why would I move my rest?
Sounds like you're good to go then. If you're hitting bear shaft together,
not leveling. See what I'm saying? It's the sight that's not leveling. It's not the shot.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to take an afternoon and run to visit with Gilly.
Gilly's probably hitting his head against a wall listening to this right now.
That or Dan, one of the two of them is going, boys, we send you to school. We buy you books.
Every time I level my sight, I have Dan check it, and he'll just look at it and shakes his head at me. He's just like, is just so disappointed every time. He goes, "You're happy with that?" I go, "Yeah, it's in between, the bubble's right in between the lines right here." He goes, "It's all the way on the right side. It's touching the line." I was like, "Well, the lines are like this and the bubble's like this. I mean, it's pretty much the same width." I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get it to where when I know my second axis is even with my first axis. Now I've got to find that first axis in accordance to how I grip it.
Just level it up and send it, man.
That's what, then I got it. And that's not natural to me. I may have to worm out that damn hole.
We're gonna come put you on the side of a hill anyways. It's gonna be all screwed up. Dave, if you could see the way I set the red stakes on this side of this Triple-C range, you would probably be done with 3D after a weekend. It is
says I won't be anyway.
Gotta get you in here one time. Carl's gone zero dark Carl on us here.
Yeah. But yeah, I went out this morning, man, shooting because there's zero wind this morning, and man, it was nice. And I did see that I cannot see Howardly at 45 yards. So I came in, I had some trucks come in, got them unloaded, and then I'm like, I need to really check the level on my sight. And all I can say is they heard me on my phone because I jumped back on the computer and I ran through YouTube, and sure enough, there was Paige talking about it. So I thought, well, that sounds easy. So I jumped back on there and did the way her method was, and yeah, that screwed me up. Carl, how do you do it?
Well, I lost about.
We've lost him again. Doggone it.
I got a phone call and the audio left, but I make sure that my second axis kind of follows along with how my hand, how I grip the bow. When I grip the bow, as long as my second axis is in line with that, I feel like, when I go from 20 to 60, there won't be a deviation left or right. Yeah. But I'm no expert, so what do I know?
I just like to, I do more of it without moving the sight to know that my bow is in center shot. And then when I only shoot a couple, like,
how can your bow be in center shot if you're moving your rest? That's my ultimate yell.
No, mine's dead on, Dave. I was telling you to take yours out of center shot to match whatever thing you were doing with your sight. I don't even slide my sight past 20 yards the first part of setting up an outdoor bow, because I'll hang a plumb bob and shoot the bottom of that string and check it for left and rights. And sometimes you can do it with your rest. The Dartons have the limb tuning, so I'll fiddle with those limb tuners in there to where it's hitting straight. I know it's falling straight at 6 o'clock, and then I'll slide my sight down to 50 and shoot that same group. And if it's not hitting left or right, then I know my sight is leveled on that first axis. I make the bow show me that it doesn't have any left or rights at distance, and take the sight equation out of it and just leave it on 20. And then once I know that it's hitting at distance and falling at 6 o'clock, then I'll move my sight and make sure that the sight's good, because it's a lot easier.
That's just line tuning, but that's not leveling your sight one bit.
Well, once you level it once, it pretty much goes from bow to bow. I mean, take them out of the box and line it up, and pretty much whatever bow I put it on, I haven't had to mess with it too much.
Yeah, no, not for me. No, gripping on a bow is different.
Yeah, they were saying I've got my hand wrapped around like this now, instead of doing those two front fingers like this. I've got it all the way over here, and they say, you are torquing that to the right, something terrible. And I go, well, that's better than torquing it to the left, I guess.
Do what, Carl?
I'm not able to hear anything he's saying, so if he asks me anything, you'll have to repeat it.
Yeah, no, he's not asking you anything. He's telling us how to move the rest left to get your sight right.
Yeah, I'm gonna recommend probably staying away from that idea.
Yeah, me too.
If it works, it works. If it hits, it hits.
I agree. If it works for you, that's all that really matters. But yeah, okay. But you asked me, this all started 10 minutes ago about grub screws in the new R7, and I got into the leveling of my sight, so it's kind of all screwed up.
Well, but besides the user error, how did you like the new rest? Did it have some pretty cool new features too?
I like, that's the reason I bought that second one, was absolutely, yeah. I like that new R7 rest. Yeah. Yeah, very much. I did not like that little thing that they put on there to help hold the string tension up and down. I had to jerk that thing off and go back to one that tightens up. I couldn't get it tight and stay tight. It just kept, and I tied underneath it and I tied above it, just simple knots. And I don't like that little flipper thing that they had. So I took that off and I put one of those other ones back on there just to hold it still.
How much correction are you going to set it up for? Are you still running about 9 or 10 inches on before your drop away drops?
I am halfway to the vanes, if not closer to the vane than to the tip. I don't like it way. I want a lot of that arrow to be up. Yeah. I don't want that falling real fast. I like a lot of arrow floating on mine. Yeah. I feel like even with the release that I shoot, I've got a good enough release that I want more direction with my rest. I don't want it to go up and down real fast.
That's fair. I think mine's probably about 7 or 8 inches. So
yeah, I'm at least half of my arrow, if not a touch more than half of getting guidance. Yeah.
What about you, Carl? How much correction are you running?
That's what he was asking, Carl. He can't hear you, Neil. Carl, he was asking how much correction on your fall away before your rest comes up and goes down.
I tend to side on your side, Dave. I want as much. I want my arrow up as long as I can before it gets to the vanes.
Yeah, I'm a little. I think it's a little over halfway of the arrow before it goes down or comes up. Yeah, I got a lot of that arrow being guided as it's taken off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I like mine.
Yeah.
So what are you, Dave, what are you looking at your first 3D event going to be here in a couple of weeks?
Well, honestly, I thought of Sunday, then I realized it's Easter. So I know that's out, but did I see where Trosper's having one next week?
2.
That's correct.
I may try and run to that one, but I was going to try this weekend, and I realized Sunday is that, and I've been voluntold that I'm cooking prime rib and ham, so I better stick around and take care of that. They're the ones buying me Christmas presents.
We will have another qualifier over at Bowtown in the month of June, I believe, right before weekend before Metropolis. So you'll have another chance to come shoot at Bowtown.
Yeah. And the end of this month, I don't know if it'll be very conducive for me to do it or not. I got to do some work traveling, a lot of barbecue stuff going on that I've got to travel and teaching classes and doing stuff for. But so I don't know if I'll get gone. This might be my last. Well, the next weekend might be my last free weekend for 2 or 3 in a row. Yeah.
So we are officially now, if Dave will agree with me, indoor season's over. This is it. Vegas is done.
I'll give you that. Vegas is done. Indoor season training now begins.
Indoors. It's 364 more days till next year's hockey tryouts. I got it.
That's right. This just means training season begins. But I do have some skinnies done up that this is what I'm going to tune the white bow to for the summer.
Look at those 350 spine X impacts.
Correct. Yeah.
Fletch 3 Fletch Pro 2.5s.
Pro 2.5s.
You got the pin knock under there and the collar on the back.
I got a collar, but no pin knock. This is the Gold Tip GTO knocks.
Very nice.
Yeah. I had the Black Eagles micro knocks, but I just wasn't a fan for my knock fit.
Gotcha.
But they're sitting right over here, and I have some 400s. Here's some 400s, and they did have a pin knock with the biter knocks on them.
That's how I run them.
Yeah, and these are the 400s, and when I had these set up and rolling before, I was having a little difficulty getting them to tune proper. So I ended up getting some 350s up at H&H this weekend. They had some raw shafts up there, so I just picked them up while I was up there and veined up half a dozen of them and planned on shooting them this week till I screwed up my rest. So much for that.
Oh man.
So
well, let's do a little recap of the Vegas shoot just to send indoor off in style. I know I watched it. I think Carl watched it too.
I watched it till 10 o'clock and then I went to bed. My old stepped in. I watched it the next day. But yeah.
What were your biggest takeaways from the new shoot down style?
Carl, he asked what's the biggest takeaways for the new shoot down style.
What are we talking about? The Vegas?
Yeah, the Vegas shoot. Sorry about that. I forgot he couldn't hear any of that. He's over there seeing Neil do this.
That's it. That's all. And I mean, I'm used to seeing that, but coming out of his mouth. To be honest with you, I barely glanced at the Vegas shoot. I really haven't watched any of it, just bits and pieces. So I don't even know what the new format is. Okay.
The format is they will still start with the standard Vegas. They get one practice end. Then the first end is standard Vegas scoring. Nothing changes. Then after that, they go directly to X ring, what we'd call the standard X, counts as 10. And then the rest of it will count.
5 ends, right?
Sorry. Counts as 10.
Yeah, but they do that for 5 ends and then they go to the small?
No. The standard scoring is 1 end.
Yeah.
And then I thought it went 3 ends.
Maybe it was 3.
I was thinking it was 3 ends for the X counts as 10. Then they changed to the new 1.5 centimeter. And then if it went any further than that, it went to a 1 centimeter X ring.
We didn't get all the way to the 1 centimeter this year.
So yeah, they didn't get all the way to the 1 centimeter. So maybe they went 5 ends of 1.5. Like I said, I only watched it the next day. So I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that I know they shot several ends at the 1.5 being for X only. So to me, that benefits or it rewards the center shooter. Whoever shoots most of the center is going to still be the winner. It's not of who brings a skinny to the game, who can adjust their bow quick enough from a skinny to a fatty. It is shoot what you got. And there's come and goes with that. To me, it's an open championship. I don't care if they change. It's called open. If you want to shoot a 12-inch stabilizer, go for it. So I don't care what they shoot. I still think it should be the shooter's ability to win, and changing it to a smaller center for the score is allowing the shooter to be the winner, I think. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Saw Robert Householder. We were all confused until the next day, but they called him a 30. And then they said, well, if there's been a correction, it's actually a 29. And he put it out on Facebook. He called that line judge back and said, hey, look at this one. I think it's out. So hats off to Robert Householder for preserving the integrity of our sport.
Good one. No, I didn't catch that. So yeah, that's good. Yeah. What he said was, Carl, I feel like I'm working with half a class and then the other half, but
yeah.
What he was talking about was Householder having to call the judge back over and correct him and said that you called one in that is actually out, and he gave himself a penalty and stepped himself out of the shoot off. Yeah,
that's pretty stand up right there.
Yeah, I agree. So
that was Robert Householder who did that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty stand up.
Yeah. And I also liked who they had commentating. They had 2 guys on there that were knowledgeable in the sport. I liked that. And I also liked the little quick interviews down there that Greg Poole did. I thought that's bringing a little bit more of the life of a real TV type show interview to it, and I really think that brought a lot to it. I like that. I did like that part.
Yeah, for a new format and doing it all live in real time, I thought they did a fantastic job. There was a little confusion on the young adult division as to who won and who was actually shooting for 3rd and 4th, but they brought them all back up and gave them all a chance to take a bow and tip their cap. So it's hard when stuff changes, and archery just has to keep up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the way that, there was a mess up with the young adults saying who, like you said, who was in 3rd and who was shooting for 1st and 2nd. But what I liked the most was the classes that already had 1st place called for. They allowed them to come back out to get their flower petals on the stage in front of everybody. Brady, and it seemed like there was another one. Well, they called that young lady back out for the youth championship. They called her back out with the guys after she skunked them. So I thought that was a good deal. Yeah,
I was gonna say she threw it down. We'll run through our list of all our Okies that went out there. Lawson Vet in the Open Pros ended up, I think, in 8th place, made it pretty far down the shoot off. We're proud of him every time he pops up on the screen. It seems like he's throwing down a monster score. And then we had our flights competitors. We had Bryn and Sly and Mark Tackett and Isaiah. All 4 of them wound up in the top flight. So
and Jack.
Yeah. Jack, that's right. Jack Simmons, he was clean after day 1. So I think we had 4 Okies wind up in the top flight. Saw Aiden Grand and Oakley Hill went out there and shot it. In the senior division, we had Chad Hilburn. So we had, pretty good representation there, competing at a high level in Vegas. So it was good to see some Oklahomans out there enjoying the new venue and everything else.
Yeah. I think we had a good calling. I think Kathleen Stevenson.
Yep.
Yeah. Tom didn't shoot. He manned a booth there the whole time. He went out there for a booth, and so he was over in that crowd. That looks pretty cool over there. I think their booth setups look good. Yeah,
it's got to be hard to go to an archery tournament and not shoot it for him. That's got to be.
Yeah, especially for him, especially with what he's done this year.
Yeah.
Shooting, man. He owned the adult recurve there, man. That senior recurve category, man.
Lancaster and then state records or national records.
National
USA Archery back-to-back weekends.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, we'll let everybody know where we're going to be shooting the next couple weekends while you're waiting on your parts to come back in.
Myself, I'll probably be out back right here trying to get my sight leveled. Saturday, if I can get my sight level, I might run down there, shoot down there. That's an if and a but, and you know how big those mites are. They're little bitty.
Yeah.
But I'm just I've got to get that worked out because that bugs my head. And then if that doesn't work, I need to go do one of them Thursday night jobs right up here by the gun club before I step out and throw my hat in the ring for a joke. I mean, I don't mind being center stage in a joke, but I mean, I'm fine with it, but there ain't no sense in having to buy new arrows along with it.
So starting back next week, we'll be out there at Bowtown shooting practice rounds. It's closed down this week, not just for weather, but because we've got it set for a qualifier. And then, so Bowtown's 4:00 till dark, $15 fun rounds. Oklahoma City Gun Club on Thursdays, 3 p.m. till dark. That's $20 fun round. You get your raffle ticket for state for showing up to both of those. This weekend's the Dibble Double, the Bowtown Extravaganza. We forgot to mention the belt. The big shooter's belt. So that's going to be a good winning item for your top score combined on both ranges. And then next weekend, we're going to do the same double qualifier at Triple-C Archery. So y'all plan on getting your bows dialed in. And if we can get Mother Nature to cooperate, it's going to be a good couple weekends.
Well, all right. Well, Carl, he's logging us off. He talked about your big belt that you're giving away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I like what he called it. He called it the double D, the dibble double.
That's right, the Dibble Devil. We're going to have two of them.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Carl. I know this has probably been excruciating listening to just me talk and then someone over there. I know that's got to be hard for you.
No, I actually enjoyed seeing him be muted like that.
Well, it'll be really funny when I go to edit this if I've been the only one that's been able to hear him this whole time. We'll find out here in about 30 minutes when I run this through a program. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look kind of silly not being able to react to what's being said because I don't know what's being said. But anyhow, I enjoyed you guys and I hope to see a lot of people there this weekend.
Yeah. All he talked about was your Halloween costume you're wearing this weekend. So you'll have to listen back to see what he said.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what that is.
Right, Carl. Neil, you got anything to finish out with?
Good to go.
All right. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.